Abby Prohaska is so right. And I've been preaching this for years. I've been making videos about this. I've been getting on these women. I've been getting on these women for years and years about this. These women will show up for force to NBA Summer League games, but wouldn't show up to a WNBA regular season game or a NCAA women's basketball game or volleyball game, right? Or softball game, okay? Or anything dealing with women in college in terms of sports, lacrosse, soccer, whatever. But you'll show up to an NBA Summer League game, which is not even preseason. Then these women will show up to a NBA preseason game, but won't show up for a WNBA regular season game or a WNBA playoffs game, okay? Or an NCAA women's basketball tournament, or really any sport with women in college. And I'm highlighting women because there are more women in America than there are men, okay? Think about that. Women are watching sports, attending sports events more than ever before in history, playing more sports video games than ever before in history. But these women are using all of that money to give to men and not women. But yet you want to talk about female empowerment and equal rights and all of this stuff like that, feminism and all of that. But I see you at NBA Summer League games and preseason games. I see you attending men's collegiate basketball and football games, okay? When those teams are losers, they're losing. They have losing records. But I see more of you at a men's NCAA basketball team's game when that men's team has a losing record, but you will not show up to the women's team of that same university and they have a winning record. Okay? And I'm highlighting women. We already know how men feel about women in America and really around the world. A lot of men don't care about women outside of the bedroom or using them as some tool to gain wealth. Okay? Most of the time, they just don't care about women outside of the bedroom, right? And it's just a fact, right? So they don't support women in this country or abroad. Many of them, they just don't care about women. So we're just gonna remove men from this because we know that there are a bunch of disgusting creeps, right? In terms of supporting women. I don't respect them, right? But let's highlight women. Women, you are hurting women. And I've been preaching this for years, and I thank God Abby says something about it because Lexi Brown. So listen, there's some verified dude who knows what he's verified for. It seems like they're verifying people for anything, right? This guy doesn't even have a bio, right? He's not even listing anything in a bio, but whatever, right? So Lexi is telling us, this guy is saying, do women watch the WNBA? And he's asking a serious question, right? Because he's looking at the stands and he doesn't see any women. He's watching League Pass and he's looking in the stands and it's like, why are they so bare? Why is it so sparse, right? When you look at the ratings, right? Ratings are good for the WNBA, but they can be better if more women watched. So obviously he sees this. Then he's looking at the salaries. Yeah, it's improving, but really it should be way better than what it is now if more women supported it. Okay, so it's more of a rhetorical question. And Lexi was just brushing it off in a sense like, you can't be serious. Why do you guys always say these things? Okay, she's just being defensive and just overreacting instead of analyzing it, instead of taking it seriously and saying, you know what, you have a point. You have a point. There are more women in America than there are men, and we should be supporting women more. Let's call these women out on this. This is a truth moment right here, right? This is what they call a come to Jesus moment right here. It's time to step up, women. So instead of you being defensive and saying, oh, this guy is hating on the WNBA, right? No, you need to speak out about this and say, well, he's right, because there are more women attending NBA preseason games than WNBA playoff games. That's a huge problem. Okay, that's a major problem. There are more women wearing NBA jerseys than there are wearing WNBA jerseys. That's a huge problem. But I thought women are supposed to back each other, right? Okay, so it's every time a guy has a serious question about the WNBA, these WNBA players start shooting bullets, right? Because it's like they're shell shocked, okay? They're just so used to men hating on them that when a man is asking a serious question, they get defensive and throw up their guard and then want to start firing instead of just saying, you know what, he's right. He's right. Like, women do need to do more for women, okay? It's just like in video games. I told you in NBA Live 19, NBA Live was the first game to ever put the WNBA in their game. That credit goes to me because I fought for the WNBA to be in that game for years, and they finally put it in the game. And that's according to their top producer who tweeted me about it, right? So anyway, so NBA Live 19, really it was an 18, but 19 allowed you to play online multiplayer, right? So NBA Live 19, I'm in a lobby and these women have no idea about the WNBA, right? These are young women. They don't know the teams. They only know Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi and like Maya Moore, Brittany Griner. They didn't know any of the other players. They didn't know the names of these teams. And they said that they don't even watch the WNBA, but they were happy to play with women on these courts in the lobbies because you get to create yourself as a woman in Live 19 and play with men on these basketball courts. In NBA 2K, these women many of them don't even play the WNBA mode. Many of them have no idea about the WNBA. And then one of the women, a big-time woman on Twitch who streams NBA 2K, they were asking her, the men, hundreds of people asking her, hey, play the WNBA mode, play the WNBA mode. And she said, I don't play that mode. I don't even watch that stuff. There you go. All right, so anyway, let's read this. Notre Dame has made 9 Final Fours, 7 national title games, and won it all twice. A level of success that most programs, men's or women's, can only dream of. The Irish regularly produce pro athletes. Current WNBA stars like Skylar Diggins-Smith and Jewel Lloyd played in Purcell Pavilion. What teams like Clemson and Ohio State have been over the last decade in football, Notre Dame has been in women's basketball. This top 5 program deserves a top 5 home environment, and a large, engaged student section should be right at the heart of that environment. Frankly, though, the track record of success is besides the point. The women's basketball team shouldn't need to go on a historic decade-long run to get support from their fellow students. They are athletes just like the men's team, just like the football team. There's no reason to not show them the same level of support. To be clear, I'm not saying that we shouldn't show up to support the men's teams. Men's basketball games are a ton of fun, and I know the team and coaches on the men's side appreciate the student support, but why can't we bring that energy and passion to the women's game? And that is a fact, and I thank Abby for pointing this out because I've been talking about this for years, and I've mainly been getting on women, right? Because there are more women in the world than there are men, or more females than there are males, okay? And you women go out of, you girls and you women go out of your way to support these men, but not these women. And that is a huge problem, a major problem. I'm sitting watching lacrosse, okay, on the ESPN Plus app. I just want to support lacrosse. And cupboard was bare in terms of the seats. I mean, it was like maybe eight people in attendance. And I said, had this been a men's lacrosse game, those seats would have been filled. Like, it's just sad. It's disgusting. And when you look at the seats for a men's lacrosse game, you're going to see a lot of women there. There were like 8 people at that lacrosse game. It was just disgusting. So what's the deal, women?